You are listening to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Radio Rossonera and Milan fans all over the world.
Donnarumma at the double, sensational from him.
Rafael Leao produces a moment of utter magic.
Teo Hernandez al volo! Teo Hernandez! Ancora lui! Una meraviglia!
Ibrahimovic! Zlatan Ibrahimovic! Fuori classe assoluto!
And here we are live, Stevie P, and thanks to our friend Diana, also the war drums, the intros, the intro video. We're give some time to everybody to join us. How are you, Stevie P?
Very good, very good.
And you're enjoying this warm weather here in Montreal. It's like summer weather right now. We don't understand what the hell is going on, but hey, we'll take it.
Chinook winds.
Excuse me?
It's the Chinook winds.
Chinook winds? Do you mean Indian summer?
Chinook winds.
Chinook winds. So welcome to everybody on YouTube. I hope our voice is okay, Steve, for Presidente, for his editing purposes. Steve, I think you have to put the earphone over there, but I can hear you.
Only one.
So what happened to your microphone that Presidente bought you? You put it aside. So you're listening in from the headphones and you have a microphone.
Yes, sir.
Guys, we're getting big time. We're getting big time. To Frank, to Liban Youssef, to Gio, to Anthony, to Tommy's there live on YouTube. Guys, thank you so very much for joining us. And we got lots to think about. And I'm not going to take any chances, even though our Saturday show did not pull any copyright strikes, Steve. We're not going to do any music just in case, because we're almost at 1,000 viewers. Are we not? 1,000 subscribers.
956 strong.
956. So on that note, gentlemen, ladies, cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast. Here, where we talk everything Milan, where, oh my God, everybody's freaking out because, we didn't win in 2 games, Milan. And where, hey, keep your head up because we're still Milan and we're still on top, first place. And we're not professionals.
Nor do we pretend to be.
Yes, Steve, you do have a hair sticking out your back. Stevie P, Vinny T, always here faithfully every Monday. And guys, we've got lots to talk about today. Lots to talk about. Thank you for everybody that's joining us on YouTube. Steve, I know you were not able to join us on Saturday. I know it's hard. We told the patrons, 5 o'clock, it's Steve. He can't really make it on those ones. And Andre from Russia liked the 5 p.m. start. But in the end, honestly, Steve, I just want to take the time to really say a thank you to all 31 of them. Honestly, Paulie, Hashem, Juan, Andre, Ryan, Nitin, Nathan, Daniel, Tapiwa, Tommy, Talal, Youssef, BJ, my cousin Johnny, Khalil, Ahmed, Angie, the First Lady, Derek, Steve Johnston, Ricardo, Ian, Colin, Dino, Tim, Nick, Francis, even though he's a snake, David, he's not the first lead, he's the first man of Philadelphia, he's a presidente, Gio, Franco, Peter, Mike, and Sabrina. Honestly, guys, we appreciate all the pledges. We love doing these little specials with you. We love how you're supporting the podcast. So we didn't expect this. And thank you for helping, paying for this platform, everything. And I try to be as honest as possible on the Patreon, Steve. But what a great feeling, right? Getting all these people from all around the world.
Yeah, it's a really nice feeling for having everybody contribute there to this little podcast that started in the basement, started at the bistro, and then evolved from there. And it's not only that the Patreon's a special platform, but everybody else, right? People that host our host and continue to share the Calcio love with us. Forza Italian Football. They streamed our podcast on their site for since the beginning and never asked for anything. And great people there.
That's awesome.
Radio Rossonera. Giving us the chance to be the English voice. I have to thank them as well. People like Massimo too, who lets us post on his Facebook pages there, that he has two great pages that if you guys are on Facebook, The World of AC Milan and The Galaxy of AC Milan, fantastic pages that you guys can go and follow the Rossoneri love, right? So it's things like that sometimes we take for granted, and we just want to say thank you, right? And we're not going to be this long-winded every single week, but we want to make sure that we remember to say thank you.
We definitely want to say thank you to everybody because, whether it be like, Steve tried to give me the Instagram duties. I don't know what the hell I'm doing on Instagram, but from people from Instagram, from Twitter, from Patreon. Steve, how many are we? 900 and what? 56?
Yeah, the 956 YouTube subscribers. That's amazing.
956 guys. Give us those other 46 viewers. We need to find out how we could just share this podcast as soon as we come on, and we appreciate everybody's contributions. Honestly, it's mind-blowing, like the way, like, the amount of viewers. And Steve, we're just two regular guys. We're just talking Milan, even going back from 2012, 2013, the Red Card Weekly days, and we still gotta get Francis on for a Patreon special. But we just want to take the time to say thank you to everybody, because it's really humbling, Steve, isn't it?
Yeah, and it goes further than that. Imagine, here we're just talking about social media platforms. There's clubs of this. There's fan clubs, like Toronto, Philly, New York, the Australia, Milan Club Dublin, Milan Club London. Everybody, all the Milan clubs. And if I forgot some, I'm really sorry, but they all continue to share our podcast on their platforms and their members. You see them come on and join and subscribe. Enough so that someone from the Celtic fan club reached out to us and wanted to talk to us before the Celtic, right? And they're doing the same type of podcast. We don't get a lot of help from Milan. I'll be just very straightforward and honest. And and I understand it's very feely, but one day I hope we can get there.
One day, hopefully, we get one of these Milan players and ask him penne lisce or penne rigate. And Steve, honestly, I went to Begal's house the other week on Saturday to fix up his phone, and his girlfriend, she's more English than Italian. What do I see in the grocery bag, Steve? Penne lisce.
Big Al, if you're listening, when you listen to this, get those shit out of your house. They're gold.
And he was trying to tell her off. He understood. But what do you want to do? He's in love, and they're living together. Okay, babe.
Let's go.
Whatever.
Let's go.
So let's talk about, guys. Let's not talk about penne lisce. I hope you guys don't eat any penne lisce. But as I was saying in the title, the streak is over. Just like the Undertaker, Steve, because the Undertaker, even him, the streak was put to bed. He was 21-1. We went 24-1, if I'm not mistaken. But Steve, just a very quick thought on Thursday's game. I felt it was the best time to lose a game where it didn't have that much repercussions on the actual table, on the actual team, and to me, it was like, it's a great excuse to bounce back on Sunday. Forget what I saw on Sunday, right? But how did you feel on Thursday's game?
Yeah, so Thursday, watching that game in Europa League, look, I don't want Milan to lose. And if we're going to drop any points after winning our first two matches in Europa League, losing to Lille I would have been able to swallow it, Vinny, to be very honest with you. And unfortunately, I didn't like the attitude on Thursday. I didn't like the body language. I didn't like the that we didn't have any fight. And you know what? Just watching the game and watching some of the highlights again after at night and just trying to think of what happened. Everything that could have went wrong for Milan went wrong. So, people were starting to say the lineup, and we're starting to say, Donnarumma. Look, guys, we knew that we were not gonna run the table in 3 competitions and never lose a match. We knew that there was going to be a dip in form, and there is a dip in form.
But Steve, do you feel like, I don't know, it was the first game after all these consecutive games that I felt that Milan came in with their heads up high. Am I wrong? I just felt like Milan came in like they could do no wrong, and we're going to talk about the fighting spirit against Verona, but I did see the bit of the fighting spirit against Lille, but at one point it was just like, you know what, let's get it out of our system and let's just lose this game. I know we're still just 1 point behind. It's not the end of the world, but do you put much importance on this loss?
I don't put importance on the loss. I put importance on the way we lost.
Okay.
I just found that we didn't look like we were ready. I didn't think that we were taking this game seriously. Once we got behind 1-0, we almost really didn't do much. The second goal is a real backbreaker. You have Donnarumma nets for a reason. And guys, let's be honest. Goals like that, they will happen. They will happen. And we've seen worse, right? We all remember the back pass that went underneath Donnarumma's foot. They will happen. But at a crucial time like that, in that type of game, I think it was the backbreaker. I think everybody started to forget about Lille and start thinking about Verona, to be very honest with you.
Yeah. And in the end, it's like, you know what? We got it over. It's fine. We lost. We got a kick in the ass, a slap in the face that for me was a great wake-up call. But then we take it over. We take it over to Sunday, Steve. We're playing Verona, and I had some flashbacks, honestly, Steve, of Milan from 4 or 5 years ago where everything is going wrong. It's 2-0 after what was it, 20 minutes inside the game. But the only difference that I saw, for me, it was like the fighting spirit. And, Sports Media Set came up with an article saying, like, that 1 point is valued much more than what you guys came back as, the resurgence and the fighting back. But I just want to take your impressions of the Sunday game, trying to take off your Milan hat here.
Yeah. So the Sunday game again, I'm disappointed in the way Milan started the game. I think again, for some reason, which is beyond my capabilities to explain to everybody, we came out like shit again, and we came out flat. And in Serie A, you cannot come out flat. In Serie A, guys, this is not the English Premier League. This is not La Liga. This is not the vacation spot of Liga. This is Serie A, and Serie A is its own animal. Every team, if you come out flat, they're able to punish you. And it's going to happen. And people are going to say, Steve, how is Crotone going to punish you? They will.
But Verona's no pushover, Steve.
No, exactly.
They tied Juventus. Who did they beat? They beat Lazio. They beat Napoli. But there were no pushover. But in the end, these are the kind of games that I remember where we were expected to win and we would end up losing. And in the end, we fought back, Yes, there was whatever controversial calls. I know they're talking about that cleat on Leao in the box, whatever. But in the end, I think it was a fair result, was it not? 2-2.
Look, I think a draw. This type of game, and you're gonna say, "Oh, but you were just so negative about the Lille match." The Lille match we lost, and it's the way we lost. Here, I'm not going to say it now because we didn't lose, but I'm going to be just very straightforward with you. If we would have lost this game, would I have been pissed? Yes. Would I have been disappointed? Yes. But at least they showed some grinta. At least they showed some fight to get back into this game. Hey, Verona has not conceded 2 goals in who knows how long.
And in the end, no, Steve, you're right. But in the end, it's like people need to relax. And Steve, if I would have told you 6 months ago that Milan would have been top of Serie A after 7 games, would you have thought I was crazy?
Not crazy, but I would have taken it. I'm signing up for that. And you take a point from this game and you run. You run, guys, and you start thinking, sometimes the international break really comes at a really shitty time. I think for Milan, the international break comes at a fantastic time. Let's get people rested. Today we have Salchicha Maker getting hurt in the Belgium,
but Steve,
Belgian team coming back.
There's still 16 guys on international leave. That's a lot.
That's a lot, but it's a different thing. Not everybody plays, and if they do play, they're the players that we have. Like if we're sending Jens Petter Hogan to Norway, and he gets to play, hey, that's bonus for us. He hasn't played for a long time. We're sending Leao to play at Portugal. If he makes the national team, I don't know. I'm just saying example. He's young. He has those legs. But there's players, like Hakan. I hope the Turkish national team, if they called him, he's going to go. But they have to understand there's still an injury there.
Definitely.
So,
Jamie brought up a good point, Steve, and I want to talk about that. Like, people are not shitting on Romagnoli, but we're talking about the Romagnoli giving away the penalty on Thursday. Hasn't been playing at his full best. I saw a stat as well that these goals off set pieces, Milan has not scored in 46 corner kicks that we've been giving all season. But Romagnoli, Steve, are you worried? Or are you like, is this a guy? Like, look, soft penalty on Thursday? Yes, I'll give you that. But why is he fucking putting his hands on the on the player? I'm sorry, like, you shouldn't be putting that. So I have no problem with the penalty call. But soft or not being soft, it's 2 games in a row that he's giving soft penalties, and he should know better, should he not? Or am I exaggerating?
He should know better, but he should know that the players in Serie A are very intelligent. And any type of contact where they know they're going to be able to draw a penalty, they're going to draw a penalty. Was it soft? Yes. Was it a penalty? Yes. Guys, this is Romagnoli. We need to remember that this is not a "what have you done for me lately" team. We have this guy Romagnoli who's our captain, and I've been very critical of Romagnoli as a captain. But guys, he's our best central defender. Now, people are going to say, Kajar is our best central defender. Look, right now he's in form. But, we saw against Verona, did we see Gabbia?
Not really.
How fast do you want Romagnoli back in this team?
I do, Steve. I just feel like he's getting too much criticism.
It happens to everybody. But this is the generation that we live on.
He got thrown to the wolves. He got thrown to the wolves as soon as they came out.
We live in a generation of "what have you done for me lately?" This is a major problem.
I get you on that point. Is like, for guys, Romagnoli, this is the guy that signed a contract extension under Young Hong Lee. So give him a break. He was thrown to the Lions. When he came back, straight into a derby. I know it does not look good, but give him a chance. That's all I'm saying. Colin, Steve, he was sending us a message on Facebook saying, Fratelli, looking at the Lille and Verona games, it's clear we are lacking any sort of depth still. First 25 minutes of the Verona game were torture, and the 2 goals, while unlucky, showed we will still need work. With 16 on international duty, it will be tough against Napoli when we return. I'm glad Ibra chose to forgo the penalty taking. It's not his forte. I'll leave it up at that, guys. Forza Milan sempre. Steve, is Ibra really foregoing the penalty? You actually think he's giving up to Kessie? It's 3 out of 3, right, Rena? It's
guys, 3 out of 3. Guys, you first of all, everybody who criticizes the Ibra, you have to have the balls to take it. And Ibra is, yes, our best player on Milan. He is our striker. He's going to want to take penalty shots. Will he miss penalty shots? Yes.
Okay, Steve. Okay. I get you on that. But if a guy like Kessie has had 17 out of 18 scored, you have to give him a chance once in a while.
You do. And
I think
Ibra did.
he missed twice in a row.
I think Ibra did the right thing. It's his decision. It's his decision. The pedigree, the respect of that player. Everybody loves Ibra when he bails us out. Hey guys, by the way, he scored the tying goal again.
Yes,
he's 39 years old. He wants to take penalty shots. Take the fucking penalty shot. I don't care. If he decides, which he did, to say, "Hey, I'm in a shit rut. I'm gonna give it to Kessie." That's his decision. That's exactly what has to happen on the team. They decide within each other. Everybody, Ibra sucks. Ibra can't take a penalty shot. Step up, take the balls, get your balls in your hands, go and take that penalty shot.
Just funny how Ibra was shit when he took the penalty, but it was God after he scored that equalizer,
You know
right?
Against Inter, he missed, but he scored. That's still a goal. You missed the penalty shot, but you still scored.
Definitely.
Yesterday, we have to see how he's missing too. There's a tweet, and I will retweet it after this. His misses in Serie A. Guys, there's 2 of those 5 misses, 6 misses. There's 2 that are, including yesterday's, where like you're saying like, wow, he really fucked it up. The other ones are saves by the keeper, and hey, chapeau to the keeper, because
yesterday was the first time it was like, oof.
Yesterday was like, bad. Wow.
Yeah,
not good.
That was pretty bad. Facebook Frank Steve, which is live on the YouTube, but he sent a message because like I send you guys questions on Instagram, but you guys don't read them out because we don't know how to use Instagram. But you wanted to ask us, asking again here for tonight's podcast, how do you feel about Tiziano Crudelli leaking this about Arnaud buying Milan? So I don't know if you guys saw Tiziano Crudelli, the crazy commentator for Milan, came out and basically said that Arnaud non è una cosa, è una cosa fatta. Like for him, it's done. Arnaud is about the team. Steve, how do you take this coming from Tiziano Crudelli and being the only guy that's talked about this in the last couple of days? I know he's a commentator, but do you take this journalism to a T, or where is he coming out from this? Maybe he's right. I'm not sure.
He could be right. He could be wrong. The thing is that he's the one who made those statements, so he's gonna have to pay the piper if it happens or if it doesn't happen. If it happens, good for him. He has the inside. If I'm Milan, I'm fucking pissed. I'm pissed because I have enough of the negative attention from all the other fucking newspapers that Tiziano Crudelli, my fan, bringing more drama, unnecessary drama. He's made of drama, that man, right? If you don't know him, go look at everything's a drama. A 3-foot pass is drama for him. So talking about the ownership, I don't think it's his place, and I have to disagree with that. And if it is true, I think it's a bit unprofessional, to be very honest with you. I think he should have kept that out of it and just keep his character.
Like I always liked the guy because he's very enthusiastic, whatever. But then he's coming out with this kind of news. It's like, I hope for him it comes out to be true, because you're gonna go like chiedete scusa Tiziano Crudelli. But I don't know, just felt completely out of place for him to talk about things about Milan in today's age. But hey, we never know, right, Steve? Because nowadays you never know what's true, what's not true. Buying, selling, managers, ownership. But anyways, guys, thank you for everybody commenting on the YouTube. Steve and I were trying to get some questions from here, trying to put them on YouTube. So keep doing it, and one of us will pay attention. Steve, from the first Twitter questions, Ask Vinny and Steve, what was your impression of Lovato? Could he be a long-term partner for Romagnoli? As always, keep up the good work. Lovato. Who's he talking about? Frank the Tank, what was your impressions of Lovato? Who the fuck is Lovato? Is it a spelling mistake? Who was he thinking about? He was thinking about Gabbia. He was thinking about Kajar. He's thinking about... Sorry, Frank the Tank. I don't know where you got this player over here. Maybe it was a mistake, but hit us up on the other one. This is why we don't pre-read these questions. Christian Espinoza, what a difference a week makes. Are Benacer, Kessie, and Tonali our best midfield since Pirlo, Rino, and Seedorf? Not even close. No. Not even close.
I should not even read a question. He should be barred for the next question.
No. Christian Espinoza is our friend from Lima, Peru. And I interviewed Milan Club Peru today. Yes, he is from Lima, Peru. But no, Christian, no. Don't even put him in the same.
Why do people continue to cross generations?
Tonali, he hasn't done very. I don't know. He came out since Thursday, and Thursday was so. On Sunday, he had those few minutes. He was so. I don't know. Lovato is on Verona. So Faz. So he was saying that. What was your impression of Lovato? Could he be okay? So Lovato and Verona. I'm sorry, Frank the Tank. Do you think we're paying attention to Verona players?
He didn't do
you think we're professionals? We're like these ESPN pundits that we look at all the different players.
But people like that are byproduct of a system, right? So Verona is very well coached, and he plays in a 3-man backfield. There, we do not play in a 3-man backfield, guys. I'm not gonna say I know the player, and but from yesterday, it didn't stand out. To be very honest with you, I didn't.
And he's the one, and Frank the Tank saying he's the one that injured the Kessie.
Look, but a foul is a foul. They're all gonna make a foul, but I can't say that he stood out and I really, really paid attention to him, or he kept someone in check. I think that the Verona squad is a very well coached squad. It's like taking someone out of Atalanta. Right now, we've learned the hard way. Some people can come out of Atalanta, a la Frank Kessie, and mold and adapt and get into a team. We're going to let alone Conte because he got injured. We don't know what we would have had with Conte. But then you look at someone like Cristante, understand? It was at Milan, went away, went to Atalanta, was fantastic at Atalanta, goes to Roma, and he sucks as shit. I'm going to be very honest with you. He sucks as shit. Terrible.
There we go. From Vince Gattuso, I believe, Steve. Question for tonight. I like this question. How much does it affect the team that knows the result of all the other games and they need a win to gain ground? I love this question because we all looked at the previous, maybe last week's results, this week's results, and everything in the soccer gods well, everybody kind of tied and lost. We have to win. And in the end, the soccer gods are talking. But do you think it plays maybe a stress factor, or knowing that, what, guys, if we win today, we're going to go up 5 points instead of 4 points instead of 2. How do you think they think about that?
Look, I think we think about it more than they do. I'll be very surprised if they're scoreboard watching and that. And I'm pretty sure they go into the game, and some will want to know what the results are of the other game. Some will not. But guys, in reality, you can't come out in Serie A flat and expect to take full points home. And if that's the problem, I would be a little bit worried if that is the problem, where the results from the other game, which are positive in your favor if you come out with the 3 points, affects your performance on the field. Now, I don't think that happens to someone like Ibra. I think someone like Frank Kessie might not be fazed by that. Calabria has been there for quite a bit of time. Those nerves have to be gone.
Yeah.
And this is it. This is what it is. This is the Scudetto race. And you take a point from when you should have no business. And Milan had no business yesterday against Verona in the first 60 minutes. Everybody's going to go crazy.
They showed Grinta, and they showed that they could come back. But I get you. In the first 60 minutes, had no business coming back into
the last 30 minutes, we threw everything at Verona. Everything but the kitchen sink. And it's in the stats, and I'm not a stat guy, but when you're hitting the 30s in shots, they're not all off target. They're also on target. And let's give Silvestri, the goaler of Verona, chapeau, my friend, because he pulled some really, really nice saves. And from in close. And look, a bit unlucky. Ibra misses a penalty. A couple of minutes later, we have a post, or I think it was the VAR goal that was disallowed, and then the post, and then again he equalizes. You understand? So we kept the pressure on. And Verona, you saw, at that point was not able to handle Milan's pressure.
No, they weren't 100% on that one. That's why I think in the end the 2-2 result was merited. But Jan has got a great question, and this is going to be my indigestion of the week, because and this has got to go with bandwagoners, Steve. Why do we have the most useless fan base on Twitter? We play well for 10 minutes, Scudetto. We play bad for a game and a half, relegation. It's pathetic. Do you support the club, or you're a bunch of divas with no sense of how a season unfolds? You know what? To those people that want to complain and trash on a team, it's very easy to say, we won, we haven't lost in 24 games. Guys, if any of you fucking losers, marks, as we would call them in the wrestling word, Steve, if any of you would tell me, yeah, I would believe you if you told me that Milan would be in first place after like 7 weeks. Fuck you. And you know what? Love your team and love the fact that they're in first place right now. And the fact that we're losing points in the last couple of games, we're losing points when it matters the least. So you know what? Take it and shove it up your fucking asses. You know what? This is not suitable for young children. And that's it. You're going to support a team. Don't just fucking come on the bandwagon. Support the team like Steve and I and all these people on YouTube. We've been supporting the team since day one. Forget day one. The last 10 years, we've been sucking a shit, and we've still been supporting this team. So stop flippy-flopping and support the team no matter fucking what. There's my indigestion of the week, Steve. Sorry, I can't take this fucking comments on YouTube.
And you have to take the comments, right? You have to take the comments as with a grain of salt, right? You have to understand.
Steve, you can criticize. You can criticize.
Exactly.
You can criticize a bit, like, hey guys, you know what? I didn't feel like Romagnoli played well, but don't fucking trash on the team. We're in first place. I'm not saying we played incredible in the last couple of games, but you're gonna tell me that for sure you would have bet on Milan to be in first place after all this time? Sorry,
no one would have bet. No one would have bet.
So fuck everybody. You know what? Support the team no matter what. Where were you 3-4 years ago? You fucking bandwagoners. Get on top. Get on. Support this team, because that's what we need, and that's it. I'm sorry, Steve. It just fucking pisses me off. I don't even know why Twitter is getting to me, or Facebook or WhatsApp is getting to me. It's like, support your goddamn team, guys. You know what the worst part is? If we were in 7th place, Steve, they would be complaining the exact same amount.
Oh, that's what the worst this part would be. 7th place would be a relegation, right?
Yeah.
And we said it from the beginning. We said, guys, manage your expectations with this team, and it's not again. This is the season. Serie A is a long season, and this season is a season in very particular because there's a lot of exterior forces that are gonna screw up the plan. And right now, I was listening to Alessandro Jacoponi on his Milanista Non Evoluto, and he had a perfect saying. He's like, Milan have to be almost like a mouse. They have to gather all these points. They have to gather all these points and keep them in the bank. Keep them in the bank because it will shift. Something will shift. Something will change.
Steve, something will shift. I agree with you. And, even if it's only the beginning of the game, what I'm trying to get at is that let's be happy that we've been suffering for fucking 9 years. Let's just be happy that so for once we're putting these points in the bank and we're in first place. Can we not laugh at the fucking Juventus? Can we not laugh at the Inters of the world, at the Lazios, of the Napolis? Can we not laugh at these teams like they were laughing at us all these years? That's the only thing I'm saying. Am I saying we're going to finish in first? No. But why is it after 10 minutes of playing bad, and playing bad is a strong word, everybody's fucking shitting on us? I'm sorry. Fuck everybody. Fuck them. That's it. I'm pissed off. Sorry.
Next subject.
Fabio 3785 saying, I think Rafael Leao has been amazing on the left wing. Any chance Rebic can steal a spot from him? Also, did your hearts drop when you saw Samu warming up? No more Samu, please. Samu, we love you, dude, but it's not for you anymore. Steve is like, can you get him a job? Get him something. It's like I feel bad for the guy. I really like him. He shows character. C'est pas pour toi, le jeune. C'est vraiment pas pour toi.
We talked about it. It's a redundant topic. Unfortunately, he's going to see some more playing time, maybe, because I don't know if Pioli has the confidence in Jan Petershogen.
Since when do you pronounce names correctly?
I've been watching this fantastic series on Amazon Prime, and I'm getting better with my my Eastern European names.
Yes, go ahead, please.
So I don't know if Pioli has enough confidence in him, and I know I would give him a shot. I think he deserves it because Castillo, unfortunately, hasn't been doing enough.
It just hurts to see it because you like the guy, but it's no, it's not for you, Samu. We love you. Anthony saying, why can't Milan fans keep their emotions in check? When we win, everything is amazing. One bad player situation, we forgot about everything from the last 22 games, and we need to change everything in our system. I think I've answered that one, Anthony. Thanks for asking. Soto, neutralize the build-up toxicity of the last decade. They come back. The comeback is real. Dreaming does not cost anything. Just enjoy the ride and Forza Milan. Thank you. Let me reread that, Steve. Neutralize the build-up toxicity of the last decade. The comeback is real. Dreaming does not cost anything. Just enjoy the ride and Forza Milan. Thank you, Soto _Milanista. Thank you for that, because let's just keep on the positive. Right, Steve? We got to keep... I know you're not the most positive person in the world, you know?
No, because I demand a lot. I demand a lot.
Andre from Andre saying, hi, guys. Would you go for a 4-3-3 again, having Salamakers and Leao as the wingers and trio Kessie, Benacer, Tonali? Do the rant again just for the fuck of it. 4-3-3, Steve. I like what Andre's saying here on paper, but on the other side, it's like if it's worked for all this time with the 4-2-3-1, would you go to 4-3-3 just for shits and giggles? No, huh?
No.
I don't think Tonali right now. Tonali, Benacer, Kessie, especially Tonali, does not have the legs to play 90 minutes.
He better start finding the legs to play 90 minutes. Because the pressure is going to just continue to go up and up and up.
Let's just put it this. If you're stuck, do you do 4-3-3?
Why would you be stuck?
Injury?
To who?
Calhanoglu?
Who cares? Diaz.
Okay, so... Yeah, okay, go on. Sorry.
Rebic was hurt. Leao. It's built for that system, guys. The two pivots is Benacer and Kessie right now. And no one is going to move them unless we really have to do something drastic. If it's not broken, there's nothing to fix. And right now, guys, let's be honest, since last year, there's really nothing broken in Milan. People will draw, teams will draw. You will lose because you're not invincible. And that's just the way soccer is nowadays. You have to take it. You have to see where the points are coming from on a completely different level.
It's funny how Juventus has come up with a very lackluster start of the season. Let's give him time, guys. Let's give him time. But we've lost
I'm not
only one
Juventus
game.
that. No,
But I'm just saying
the
perception. The perception.
No, there's no perception of that. Everybody has their own.
Why is nobody freaking out on Juventus, Steve? Why is nobody fucking freaking out on Juventus?
Because everybody's scared of Juventus. Juventus is the champion. You are not. You cannot talk to the champion if you have not knocked out the champion.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that any other team would be in Juventus's position would be a disaster.
But it is a disaster at the thing.
No, but they're not treating it like a disaster.
Yeah, you're looking at papers that are not treating. I have my own opinion of Juventus, and Juventus is a disaster.
Okay, so you know
I
what?
don't need the newspaper.
Let's segue into 7 minutes of Serie A, because I know it's very important for both of us. Let's segue into that, right? We're talking about Juventus. Juventus coming up with the win, making backup points. You want to talk about that? Do you have a screen for us, Steve? Let's take it through 7 minutes of Serie A, maybe more than 7 minutes of Serie A, but Milan still ahead, 2 points. Sassuolo behind 2 points. Juventus winning on the weekend, but Juventus tying at the very last second against Lazio, against Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. All of these big teams, Steve, did not win. Sorry, I just put you on the spot there, but I like it. But none of these nobody won. Nobody won, and in the end, we still managed a point. So let's take it to Lazio Juventus 1-1, Steve. Was not a great result, really at the last second.
This thing is refreshing all the time, this stupid thing.
Gazzetta. But anyways, we'll see there. Lazio Juventus at the last second. And Lazio did not play good. Lazio did not play good. And in the end, got it done. Same thing as Inter Atalanta. Did you watch those two games, Steve?
Yeah, so I watched the Lazio game. Lazio was shit. Juventus was shit. Let's face it, guys. Juventus have a lot of problems to figure out, and now they're at the point where Lazio is coming back on Juventus to steal a point. And basically, last year would have probably been the roles reversed, and Lazio really played Juventus well last year. But my problem with Juventus is that now they're starting to crumble from the inside. The focus now is on Dybala, and it's Dybala's fault. The goal, it's Dybala's fault, and Dybala can't play with Ronaldo. And fair to your point, if this would be Milan, it would have been blown out of proportion. But because the Italian media is absolutely shit scared of Juventus and the Agnelli family, because everybody will lose their job if you talk bad about Juventus. God forbid there's a silenzio stampa from Juventus, people are losing their jobs. But in reality, they gambled with a coach that doesn't have experience, and again, still needs time to implement his own system. And I get it, but I don't think that they're capable.
They need to have
coming back. I don't think
that season to adapt. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think they're able to. I don't think they're able to struggle that much, and something will change. I don't know what's going to change, but they cannot linger at the position that they're at, and it's too important to them financially because they're in financial ruins as well to not make Champions League. Maybe if they don't win, if they don't win the Scudetto, depends what they do in Champions League. They're not going to win Champions League, so that's out of the question too. Once you're Juventus and you're out of 2 of the 3 competitions that you're in, the hot seat gets hotter. It's hot, baby. It's hot for Pirlo. It's hot. It's hot.
So I like how you called Lazio. We don't care about COVID draw.
These guys are stupid. These guys are absolutely stupid. And I'm gonna say I'm gonna apologize to Jerry if he listens to this because he's a Lazio fan, and I'm gonna apologize.
Somebody that's a Lazio fan.
Jerry.
Oh, Jerry. Yeah, Jerry. Yeah.
But how stupid can you be as an organization to even think about doing something like that? To even think about playing around with people's lives. Like, you have to be obviously mentally unstable. And that Lazio has been like that for the longest time.
And that's
I admire them. I admire them for being able to sell and then being able to replace. I just can't understand the off-field stuff. The racism. I don't understand how they can't get that under control. The crazy owner, Lotito, who you have a window. If you don't want to spend, then don't complain that you don't win, because you're not going to win if you don't spend. So now this is the cherry on the cake. And we talked about indigestion. This is going to be one of my probably many indigestions this week. You cannot play with people's health. And if you have a doctor like that, which I read, if you correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, on Gazzetta dello Sport, who likes to drive around in Ferraris and take selfies, and he's worried more about his image than the actual players that he's taking care of, we have a serious problem. And Lazio has a serious problem.
Gotta love Italy and its people. Atalanta Inter 1-1. Atalanta the last second. Steve,
we're not dancing anymore, huh, Vinny? Huh? Remember last year when I told you the soccer gods will come back? We're not dancing anymore, huh, Vinny? And Atalanta, things are not going well. They got a shellacking by Liverpool.
They got a chaga, yeah.
Shellacking.
And against Inter, they were able to manage the last points.
To be fair, and I want to be a little bit fair here, Atalanta does have a lot of injuries. I think they were starting, and credit to them, their third choice right back. They did have some injuries. They do have to rotate. I get it, but against Inter, unfortunately, it was not good enough. And
Inter should have won that game. I'm sorry, Steve.
Yeah, they had a lot of chances. Look, you see, even on our podcast, it continues to refresh, and we see the stupid picture of Agnello.
Sport. But as long as our voices are good, Steve, we have the condom on top of the microphone. Everything's good. Roma came up with a big win against Genoa. You're looking at the standings, Steve. Milan is 17, Sassuolo 15. Napoli 14, I believe, with a game in hand. Roma.
Sassuolo should be disappointed.
But Steve, Sassuolo could have made up some points. But Steve, just like last year, Sassuolo was in the top 5 in the first 10 games, and then they just crumbled down. Right? Do you even take this seriously? Sassuolo.
It's a bit different. They were able to keep a lot of their big pieces. And I think them not playing in any other competition besides Coppa Italia makes them dangerous and a ball buster team.
Yeah.
Them, it's going to be a lot about health and how healthy they can stay and how they can avoid the coronavirus for their players. And again, what they want to do, right? Right now, they're sitting in second, which, for them, I'm pretty sure check mark. But I think deep down inside, after the Udine game, Sassuolo would be disappointed because Udine really didn't give much, and Sassuolo wasn't able to generate much.
Thank you for those 7 minutes of Serie A, Steve, with Le Sette Signorini. We need to talk about Serie A more often. Taking it back to Twitter, Ali Mabruk saying, nice work. Question, is Milan AC, he says, in real need for new players, example, defense and striker? I don't think we can go after 2 games, Steve, against Lille and against Verona to determine 100%. I think Castellano needs to be upgraded. I think it's going to come up in the question soon, but central defense, all depending, if Gabbia becomes a bit more solid, but it's one thing about short-term solutions. You want to go buy some players, but in the end, who you're cutting off time from. So I don't know where you stand on this, new players, as he was suggesting.
Guys, I think we have to stop thinking about new players, and we have to start thinking about the players we have. We need Donnarumma signed. That's very important. We need to figure out what we want to do with Hakan Calhanoglu, because we cannot lose these players for free. That would be my main focus. Focus number 1 for Maldini. Focus number 2, I think we need that right winger, like you said. I think the Castillejo salchicha maker, revolving door, and Jan Peter Hogan. We have 3 people there, but I think Hogan can also play on the left, so it gives us a bit of options. But we need to find someone on that side. The big thing, guys, is Milan is very Ibra dependent, right? I would knock on wood. I don't even want to say what I'm going to say, but you guys are all going to understand. We need to find a solution for that as well, because we have players who play very well, but we don't have players that do the same things that Ibra does, especially when we're trapped. If you noticed against the Verona, a couple of times we were trapped. And a couple of times the reference point was Ibra, and it got us out of trouble, an easy ball or getting a foul and doing the Ibra things, right? And gaining ground on the field without having to exasperate too much energy.
Concord was saying, Steve, and I don't know where you at right now with the one you used to like to trash Calhanoglu. After these couple of games that he hasn't been up to par, how far are you from trashing on Calhanoglu again, or as Tommy would like to call him, a cadaver? I'm not sure he's a cadaver, Tommy, but how many more games do you give him? I believe he's still a little hurt, but he hasn't been the Calhanoglu that we've come to see in the last 10, 12 weeks.
No, we talked about it last week. It's again off-field stuff that's probably distracting him, and combined with I'm convinced still being injured is causing him some problem. Am I going to go back to the beginning of Hakan Calhanoglu? No, because you have to respect what he did in the last 6 months. Do I have a lot of patience for Hakan Calhanoglu? No, because I don't think he deserves that 10 that he wears as Milan. And you know how I am. I'm very old school with those numbers. I think he does a lot when he's healthy. I think he did a lot, but now the pressure is going to change, right? How is he mentally? Is he mentally fit after he gets over this small injury and we negotiate this contract and see what we can pay him? But we're not looking at the demands that he wants, right? Now it's fizzled down again. It's back to, I think, a digestible contract. But, we can call him a cadaver if you want. The problem is that if he leaves and he goes to Manchester United for zero, we're the cadavers. Milan is the cadaver because once again we purchased high and lost for nothing.
You're 100% right, and I don't think we should lose him for absolutely nothing. We'll see how the negotiations go. He's still got half a year until the month of June. We got these 2 weeks off. 16 players. On international duties. We'll see what comes up when we come back to face Napoli. But Steve, we're not taking a break. We're still going to be here next Monday. But I think I've said my piece about, Milan Twitter fans and Milan bandwagoners all around. Anything that got to you this week, any indigestions, coming in, ça vient chercher, as we would say in French.
No, I think you have to give it to. We have to give some prize to Lazio there because of absolute stupidity and what they did. That's the biggest indigestion. And just when I read the article, I was like, I can't believe this is happening.
And they still managed to tie it up. And anyways, from we spoke about that. Any feel good moments of the week, Steve?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Feel good moment of the week is Inter sucking very hard. Inter's really, really in deep shit.
I don't get it. I really don't.
And I can't wrap my head around it. And I just saw Gigi Lapatat put in Eriksen.
How's he not starting Eriksen?
I don't get it because Antonio Conte loves lumberjacks. He loves the Giaccherinis. He loves the Vidals. He loves these guys who are just muscle. And at Juve it worked. And we said it, right? When he was coaching Juve, it's very easy to coach the best team in the league. It's very easy. People say, it's hard. You have to manage all these things. Not when the league is not watered down, but the best competition is just not at the level. We were not close. And unfortunately, in Serie A, the best competition to Juve has always been Inter and Milan. And Inter, up until this year, I thought that they were going in the real right direction. I think they were making fantastic buys. And Conte, again, just makes me laugh. When I see his starting lineup and he has Nicolas D'Ambrosio there, all respect to the Italiano when he wears the Azzurri shirt. I hope he does well. But when he wears the Inter shirt, man, he should not be there because Hakimi is $40 million of one fantastic win back.
I don't get it, Steve. I really don't get it. I don't get what? The more and more I look at Conte, how we saw him from the outside, it's like, oh yeah, I would take Conte as a coach, But the more I see him perform, it's just it's not for him. I don't get it. He's basically saying, no. You're going to bring me the players that I want. I'm not going to work with the players that I have. And my players are going to have to be lumberjacks and nitty-gritty guys from back in the 80s. And I know we had fun the other time when we watched that 2003 finals and we saw him with that full set of hair. But I love seeing them struggle like this. I just fucking love it.
No, it's something that boggles my mind because you do have the players. It's just you're so stubborn in your system. And I just laugh, and I see the starting lineup, and I see no Hakimi. Yes, has he been playing well? No, but a game at Atalanta where it's going to be gun ho, you don't even you include him, and you have Lukaku injured, and you're trying to play with Martinez and Sanchez up front, and they're not doing anything. And they're not doing anything because they can't be direct. They have no ideas in the final third, and you have Eriksen sitting on the bench. I don't get it. And I was listening to Calcio Land with David Amoyal and Alex Goldberg. So Alex is a Chelsea fan, so for sure he has the best things to say about Conte. And he said it well. He's like, you better make sure that you win the first year that you have Conte as a coach at your team, because he will leave you in the shits. And you know what? He's right. And talking to Francis as well, he's right, because Conte will come in, he will demand his players, and you see it. It's happening with Eriksen. It's happening with Skriniar, who's going to probably leave in January. Yeah. These are top pieces that, any other team would want. You have them, and you are too stubborn in your 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 that you want to play, that you can't include them in your system. And that's just happiness. It's happiness.
On a side note, Steve, everybody's talking about Eriksen on the YouTube, but let me ask you the real question before we shut off here. Would you take him?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I would too, guys. I would take him. I know you guys know who I'm talking about. And I would take him. Because you know what? In the end, right? I know most of us talk with our hearts, that those days are over. Would we take this man, ex-Inter, with a girlfriend that takes a lot of space? Yes, I would take him. Steve?
Anybody who says no,
guys, let's be honest here.
Anybody who says no, I have to call you out. You're a hypocrite, because if you say no,
Icardi. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, if you say no, you have to say no to Zlatan.
Exactly, because if Icardi could come to Milan at a cheap price, Tommy, I'm sorry you say no because you're speaking from the heart. I'm taking Icardi with my eyes.
But Tommy always has the Milan glasses on, right? So he's never going to take it off.
If Icardi comes to be the replacement for Ibra, guys, I'm sorry.
There's going to be a transition.
Take the red and black glasses off and look at the stats and forget that he was an Inter player. And we've done those swaps back and forth, even within the same year. But yeah,
if he comes, and I don't think he would come.
I don't think so too, but I would take him. I don't
think he would come. And if he does come, I really, really tip my hat to him, because that's a lot of balls. That's a big move.
Let's just put it this way: if he does come, one of his main reasons, Steve, to coming is to take it back up to Inter's ass.
Oh yeah. I see. Tommy says will be worse than Balotelli. Balotelli is not the same thing as he.
No, definitely not.
Balotelli was someone who, unfortunately,
there was a rumor about Balotelli coming back, right?
Instagram. I don't know about Balotelli. I don't want that. It's not that I don't want Balotelli. I just don't. You have to see if that person could coexist with what we have now.
Yeah.
Do I see him coexisting with Ibra? I don't think so, because
I think he would accept his role. I think he would accept his role on the bench. I think Balotelli.
Oh my God! Please.
Steve,
Tommy, no. Tommy has to be. Tommy says that Balotelli was better than Icardi. Ma per favore, Tommy. Ma va mangiare zuppa, Tommy. Go mangiare.
Do you drink?
I don't know.
I don't know if he drinks.
I don't get these guys. Balotelli wasted his whole entire soccer career, Tommy. Go. You like history? You like going to Wikipedia? Go to Wikipedia. Go see Balotelli's history. Go see Icardi's history, who still wasted his talent.
Guys, I can't wait for the next Patreon special where I can get Steve on. It's going to be Steve versus Tommy. That's going to be the special name. But guys, once again, thank you so very much for joining us. Shout out to our Patreons, to Forza Italian Football, to Massimo for putting our podcast on his Facebook pages, to Radio Rossonera, to Presidente in the background. You know, he's handling everything there, Steve. He's handling everything, and we might have to bring him back presidential points because he thinks we forgot, right, Steve? The only problem with Icardi is the drama. He's a hell of a player, but man, Icardi would light it up for Milan. He would definitely light up for Milan. And you know, when you have a guy like Ibra and you have a guy like Maldini, we're gonna go Wanda, go sit over there, and that's it. He puts his wife naked on newspapers.
This, you know what I call it? I want to do a segment. We're gonna call it Spinning Tommy. We're gonna spin around Tommy's points till he proves himself right. Tommy,
we gotta
per favor.
So next time, Stevie versus Tommy, we'll have Facebook Frank there in the middle to mediate. But guys, once again, thank you so very much. I hope our voice is in a good level, Steve, for the podcast.
It's 6 times you say that. It's 6 times. I'm just saying.
Now we're validating with the voice over here. But guys, ovunque sempre.
Forza Milan.
Wait, we have to play the video, guys. Guys, buonasera. Ciao.